Paresh Arturi is Senior Vice President, Customer Experience at Fidelity Investments, a company with a long history of taking customer experience seriously. In fact, the customer experience function that Paresh runs had been around for roughly 6 years when he took over. Paresh raised his hand to run the customer experience organization in the middle of 2010 because he saw an opportunity. Up until that time, the group had been narrowly focused on measurement, helping employees understand customer feedback and then put plans in place for making improvements. But Fidelity had recently upped the ante on customer experience by making it a major part of its 5-year business plan. That led Paresh to believe that the time was right to expand the group's role at the enterprise level and take a more proactive approach. He immediately began to focus on process improvement, going after systemic problems that got in the way of Fidelity serving its customers. Because some of the problems were big rocks and others just pebbles, he introduced an innovative process improvement of his own. Instead of asking people to submit full-blown business requests for small projects, he got a pool of money dedicated to paying for little changes. By requiring appropriately lightweight justifications for these minor requests, he was able to tackle more projects faster. One of these small projects began when a service rep noticed that a large number of people were having trouble logging into their accounts through an automated phone system. The rep started a thread about the situation on a Fidelity discussion board dedicated to generating ideas for experience improvements. Paresh's team, the owners of the board, saw the thread and flagged it for attention. The team then worked with the people who manage the phone system to identify the root cause of the login issue and quickly launch a solution. Although the total cost of that fix was less than $20,000, it saves Fidelity $4 million a year by averting calls to customer service. It was just one of over 160 projects that came through Fidelity's Experience Improvement System in 2011. Together, those projects accounted for over $24 million in annual savings. Fixing small problems and generating big savings is great, but over time, Paresh realized that he could tackle more fundamental process changes by looking at key moments from the customer's perspective. His team identified problem resolution as one of these moments and piloted an improved model for helping high-net-worth customers when they ran into trouble. Anytime one of these well-heeled investors hit a snag, Fidelity assigned a case manager who followed their issue through to a solution. The program not only drastically reduced the amount of time to resolve problems, a benefit to customers, it was also a big hit with Fidelity employees, such as the account executives, who liked having a single person working on their behalf to help resolve a major client's problem. As promising as this sounds, Paresh didn't take it for granted that these efforts produced business results. Like all successful customer experience professionals, he carefully tracked the impact of the program and similar outreach efforts. As expected, there was a huge decrease in unhappy customers. The number of customers in the detractor category dropped by more than half. Just as encouraging, there was a large increase in the number of happy customers. Because his team could identify specific customers who had become promoters, they were able to determine how much more these people were investing with Fidelity. Clients who said they'd had a good experience put 4.5 times more cash into their accounts than clients who said they'd had a poor experience. In total, this larger group of happy high-net-worth customers increased their investments with Fidelity by several billion dollars. Did these results surprise his executives? It didn't surprise them, Paresh explains. This all makes intuitive sense. Having the specific numbers just puts the exclamation point on the business case. When you treat it as a business discipline, customer experience leads to profits. Here's the fundamental lesson of Paresh Arturi at Fidelity. Customer experience leads to profits. But not because it makes your customers feel warm and fuzzy, and not when it's just a slogan. Customer experience leads to profits if you treat it as a business discipline. In fact, Customer experience is the greatest untapped source of both decreased costs and increased revenue in most industries.